All right, start. All officially here. You know, start the show.
Well, hello everyone. It's Thursday, and we welcome you to On the Mark Sports Talk with your host, Mark with a C. That's me. And this is our 273rd show in 273 consecutive weeks. Can't do much better. Can't do much better than that. And what do you guys think about that?
Wow.
Great.
I say
Weaker and weaker each week. That's right. We started these shows during COVID, May 7th, 2020, and we have not missed a single week since. Think about that. Thank you all for joining us this week. Before we get to our guest, we do have a special guest today. I've asked Milton to play and name that tune to get us started. So, Milton.
All right, we're going to do one from 1965 after he left his group.
Some men climb a mountain, some men swim the sea, some men fly above the sky. They are what they must be. But baby, the rain must fall. Baby, the wind must blow.
All right, who was it? I heard somebody mention
Gene
it.
Pitney?
Yes, and what group was he from before he did a solo?
Limelighters.
Correct.
The Limelighters.
You got it. All right.
Wow, that's
Maybe
good.
the rain must. They named it. They had a movie like that. Wasn't there a movie?
1965.
Wasn't there a movie? Baby, the rain must
Yeah,
fall.
I think so. With Steve McQueen.
That's right. I think that's right.
I think
Okay.
Steve McQueen was in.
Thank you, Milton, and I'm sure Milton will be back with a few songs later on in the show. You're gonna love our special guest today. You're gonna love our show and our special guest. He is a hopefully I'm saying it correctly, a PPP, a professional poker player. Is that correct?
I've never heard the acronym like that, but that would be correct.
He is my nephew, my wife's sister's son. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Adam Levy. Welcome to On the Mark Sports Talk.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks so
Adam,
much.
why don't you
everybody.
just tell us something about yourself and then phase into what you do, you know?
I was in, I guess I would say medical sales for about 13
And everybody
years.
froze. How do you like that? I'm still here.
Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in medical sales for 13 years between Pittsburgh and Tampa, the two respective territories, selling door-to-door software to dentists, family practice, plastic surgeons, dermatologists, a lot of private practices. Really loved the job, but always played poker on the side just as my passion and hobby ever since college. And after COVID, looking to a new direction and just always curious about the pursuit of it, I decided to take it up full time, and that's where we stand today as about a year and a half of doing this. So, yeah, that is what kind of the career has been. And for the past year and a half, that's been my chosen path to kind of follow my biggest hobby and passion and see if I can make it work, or at least, give it a try and not be remorseful that I never did. So I'm very happy with it, and it's starting to pay its dividends. So it's very exciting.
So you must be successful to keep on doing it.
I hope so. Yeah. Successful in it. It's definitely a path. There's a lot that goes into it, day in and day out, besides just showing up and getting cards and playing. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of studying. there's a lot of like relentless discipline just to understand the right move to make and in the hands that you're dealt, and how to play your opponents and how to play the boards that are presented to you. And the saying, make best with the hand that you're dealt. Like it's very true. So it doesn't just stop off the table. In addition to that, I do manage a portfolio in the market. So I'm a very big calculated risk person for like 11 years now. So all of this is just really a combination of like what I am passionate about, and poker is definitely my biggest hobby.
Where do you play? Where do you play?
Yeah, I live in Tampa, Florida. So it's called the Seminole Hard Rock Tampa Casino here. So that's kind of the home base, if you will. I do travel to Texas to see my brother and play out there. I actually went to Vegas this year for the first time in terms of playing, and I did a week out there during the World Series of poker. That was great.
And my son was out there for that one too. He loves it also.
Oh, really? That's fantastic.
Your son's a player? He's a player, your son?
He's a player. He's in Minnesota. He's a professor there, but he loves to go to Vegas and play. And he plays mainly in somewhere in Minnesota on a regular basis.
Yeah, so I lived in Minnesota for a year as well. I did a job in hospitality there right after school with my now wife living there. So I know the area well. Yeah, that's awesome.
I know a lot of these guys want to ask you questions. You want to go to questions, or you want to keep on talking about yourself?
It's whatever's best for you, whatever format you like best.
I see some of them have their hand. They're trained like school to raise their hand.
I like questions a lot
before they speak. So I call on them, and
questions are great.
These guys do have questions. So
that'll be more like a conversation.
Let's take their questions, Adam, and then we'll learn a lot. We'll learn a lot. So
Perfect.
Gerald, why don't you go first?
So I wanted to make a comment and ask a question to Adam, and thanks for coming on.
You got it, Gerald. No problem.
So Warren Buffett once famously said, if you're in a poker game for 30 minutes and you don't know who the patsy is, it's you. Did you ever hear that? It's
still right. Yeah, it's absolutely true. And I've definitely found myself to be the one in certain cases. 100%. When you go into a game and you've played enough and you kind of see who you're sitting down with, 7 other players, after doing it enough, you can make out certain general guides of tendencies, if you will, depending on how it's a lot of its perception, and you don't want to judge a book too hard by its cover, but certainly from watching it for the first half hour, I would say that Buffett's correct again in saying that you can identify who the fish is in poker terms. The fish would be the players that are not as great at the game, or maybe losers in the game. Yes.
Also, you're familiar with David Einhorn, I assume, who was, or maybe still is, a professional poker player.
And might be a little bit before my time. I don't really know if I know that name. I'm sorry.
Well, his hedge fund, I think, is Greenlight Capital.
Okay.
I think they all talk about position sizes and risk control, and that probably lends itself to poker and investing.
Poker is a form of investing. If you look at it from a statistical point of view, they're just hands that reign to be better than others, and you're investing in the long term of playing those hands, hopefully correctly, rather than in a manner that long term will get you in trouble and have you lose money. Just like buying stocks that are known for their history or their growth or their profitability, versus stocks that are meme, like GameStop might have a rise and is going to meteor down and over time, and you're going to lose money over time. It's definitely an investment, and it definitely it's thought of in the long term in the same field. Yes.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, of course.
You said you play with 7 other people?
A few weeks
at a table, you're going to sit between 8 and 9 players total.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Hold
someone
on.
jacking in the
If
background.
someone's talking, please.
That's Wayne.
Please,
That's
please.
Wayne.
Can we mute ourselves? Is it Wayne?
He can't hear you. He can't hear you.
I muted him.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, no, please. before COVID, every table had 9, and they actually universally almost every room now plays 8 people at a table.
Oh, wow.
So you sit with 7 others. Yep.
And they use one deck?
Yep. Yeah, they use one deck. Yeah, 52 card deck. Yep.
Okay. I'm sure. Let's go to their questions. Larry has his hands up. Larry Schwartz.
Adam, how do you think about poker as a sport?
That's an interesting question. I thought I'd get that. I wouldn't say that it is a sport. It's
well, then goodbye then.
I would say it's more of a it's just a strategic competition. It's more like a chess. If we want to say chess is a sport, then poker would be a sport. I don't know if it's a sport or not, but it's definitely a competition of minds. It's definitely a strategic type of position, much like chess, much like any type of video game where you're playing another person today that requires a lot of dexterity or move or watching exactly how your opponent's playing. A lot like investing too. I would say it's of the same manner of that. I'm not ready to vow it into the Olympics or anything like that.
Oh, let's go to Jeff. Jeff, yes.
Did you ever hear that Stephen A. Cohen, who's the current owner of the Mets, was a big poker player at one time?
Yeah. Pretty common amongst the
hedge fund.
The heads of these giant corporations and mega companies that it's such a mind game between all the different scenarios that you could get into that I find it to be an escape, but it's extremely challenging at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually, just a fun fact too, I specialize in a certain type of poker. So I'm sure you guys know what Texas Hold'em is, which is where you get your 2 cards, ace, king, pocket aces, king, whatever, king, queen. And then you have your community cards that you're sharing with the other players to make the best 5-card hand. The version I play is Pot Limit Omaha, which instead of 2 cards, you get 4 cards. Same set of rules, but you get 4 cards.
Yeah. Did you guys ever hear that?
Not me.
I love the game. Omaha's great.
Well,
there you go. There's my man. There he is.
He knows.
Minnesota boy. There we go. Yes.
Cards if you have an ace.
Yes, I'm an Omaha player. So.
All right, let's go to Mike, and welcome back, Mike. We haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Back, Mike.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, it's good to be back. My question is where is the money in poker? Is it from these games at casinos where you're
Really
on the
good
table
question.
with 8, or is it from tournaments?
It's actually in a few different places, if you will. When you first start, it's definitely in the casinos, and there's lesser of it because you're playing primarily smaller public games to build a bankroll, which is the amount of money that one should have set aside for your games, right? Assuming that you have money set aside. After that, when you can afford to play certain tournaments, tournaments can provide really big scores, but they are very a small percentage of the time you're going to cash realistically. So if you play like 5 tournaments, the average player is going to cash like less than 1 time out of 5. Whereas, a good player is going to cash in 5 cash games, hopefully at least 2 to 3 out of 5 times, half the time, if not better, right? If you're above 50%, then you're obviously a winning player. And that's where you want to be, obviously. But when you get to a certain level, it's a mix between high limit cash games, which can be public and private, which are invite only. And then it's also the tournaments. So I'm a mixture of higher limit games and tournaments.
Got it.
So I have a question. It could be a dumb question, but I don't know. So, okay, you sit down with 8, 9 other guys.
Yeah.
What's the initial ante, like money-wise?
Well, when you sit down with your table, there's a buy-in range. So depending on the game that you choose to play, like in the game that I play, people sit down anywhere between 800 and 3,000 for the game.
That's the ante?
No, that's just what you buy in with. There's no ante.
There's no ante?
It's different. Poker's a very different game. So
All
like
right,
in
all right.
blackjack, you're playing the house, right?
Right.
So you ante up 10, 20, $50
to play.
the hand. But in
Someone's
poker,
talking in the background again.
in poker, everybody's dealt in, and the only thing that you pay are your big and small blinds. So the games are defined by the blinds. You could have basic game like a $1, $2 blind game where the two blinds just pay $1, $2, and then everybody's dealt in and everybody rotates as the hands go. Yeah, everybody takes a turn in being small blind, big blind in a circle in an orbit. So it just depends on what game you're in, but you're not anteing up.
All right. And how much can you win per hand? Is that a
it just depends on the play of the hand, right? Depends on the interest of the hands. Like you're playing your opponents. We're not playing the house. In blackjack, you play the house.
Correct.
Poker,
that I understand. Yeah.
So if we're playing the table, if you and I are interested in a hand, your entire chip stack could be at risk, or maybe you fold on the flop and you don't decide to put any money into it pre-flop, or you could fold for $10 on the flop. It just really depends.
Mark, I think David has a question. Mark.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
David.
So, playing tournaments where they last like 8 hours a day.
Good question. This is a good experience to draw from. I just played in an event in the World Series of Poker, which is like the biggest circuit of tournaments in the year. It goes from the World Series of Poker, WSOP.
Did you play with Michael Marc?
So that tournament, Meraki won the main event.
Yeah.
I didn't play the main event. I played a few other events. So in the whole tournament series, there's over 200 events. That main event is the final event. Right. It's the most televised, biggest known tournament. So I played a PLO, Pot Limit Omaha, which is the game that I specialize, tournament about a month ago, and was fortunate enough to place 18th out of 3,100 players. So I was blessed to have that experience, and that was my first World Series of Poker entry. So I was really happy with it. The time it lasted, it was a 2-day tournament. So it was about 12 hours day one and 14 hours day two.
Do you have an exercise program to help you out with this, or meditation to help you out with the?
This is something I need to look into more to be kind of self-judging on it. But what I do, I wake up about 8 or 9 a.m. I do go to the gym most of the week. I do some sauna workouts after some weightlifting. I do take the dog to the park every day, which I got to get outside. I got to feel like I do something. Otherwise, my mind is very antsy and I can't sit still. The other thing is I do want to look into meditation, but unfortunately, I haven't got into that yet. But really, yeah, I do a lot of training. Whenever I have a session, if I have hands that are troubling, situations that I was put into, I note take them at the table. I put them into an app I have, and I go back and I train them in a simulation program I have of what the best move was, or what a deviation would be here, or if I played it this way, what the result that would have yielded in terms of profitability. There's so many different things you can do today with how far the game has grown, and AI and computers, that it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
All right. Who else wants to come? Okay, Michael.
Steve had a question too.
Steve had a question.
Hi. Very interesting, and I love watching people play poker.
Thank you.
And one of the things that looked upsetting to me,
not coming in.
He's
live in an area where a lot of people who would normally be playing poker have given us that you poker players.
Frozen.
Michael,
you're frozen. We can't hear a word you're saying.
So. He's kind of coming through a little.
You guys are freezing too. I don't know why.
Yeah, try it again,
Michael.
I can hear you.
Try again.
No, his bandwidth is bad.
Very high altitude. That's why. Another question. Actually, it's not really a question. I just want to mention. Used to be a television show called Maverick probably before you were born.
Yeah.
And it starred a guy who plays a gambler. And one of the most famous episodes is there was a very successful gambler who always seemed to have extra money. And his secret was he lived next door to a bank. His apartment was a bank, and there was a tunnel. And he was always able to get money when he needed the money. And he put the money back when he was way ahead. So if you ever get a chance,
I'm gonna find that.
Is Greenbacks Unlimited. If you want to see a funny, interesting episode of something about gambling,
Greenbacks.
People who are young, like my age. Check it
out.
Marc,
Steve had a question.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Actually, I have two questions. First of all, my son's a dealer in Tampa Bay Downs.
No way.
Oh.
Silks at Silks.
Silks, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I've been there before. Yep. That's awesome. That's fantastic. What's his name?
Greg Rochester.
Okay.
He works Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday nights.
Oh, I have to. That's small world, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's something. The other thing is, piggybacking on what Marc said, there was that famous Maverick deal where he made a bet. He told the guy, he said, "What are the chances of making a pat hand if you deal me 25 cards?" And the guy said, "It's astronomical. You can't do it." It turns out that if you deal 25 cards, the chances of making 5 pat hands is something like 95%.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But in the episode of Maverick,
my son, he's in a Zoom meeting.
I have no idea.
Playing poker. That's not my son.
I'm right here.
Here.
Hey, Mom.
You know you could hear me. I'm sorry.
Adam's mom just came on. She's working, but she came on.
How you doing? You're okay. No big deal.
You're on TV.
Oh my God.
Who was speaking? I'm sorry.
On radio.
I figured you'd be working, so I didn't say anything. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was speaking? We finished that question. So go to how about Larry?
You know, the non-gambler, your best bet when you go down to like a casino is you get into a tournament where you pay like $150. They give you $5,000 worth of chips, and you can't lose more than $150. Because as my son told me, you're invited to because you're a loser. You know, you gotta really understand cards if you want to play to win. If you want to play to have fun, it's wonderful.
Yeah. There's definitely it. It's really depending on. It's a no barrier to entry system, right? So anybody could go into a casino and play this game, just like anybody can invest in stock. But that doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. So if you want to have the best chance to have your time's worth and your money's worth, then playing a tournament for a small buy-in is probably the best way to learn, because you have equal opportunity to everybody else. And it's not about how much money you're willing to put on the table or how many buy-ins you have. It's really everybody starts off at the same stack size, and you have that allotted time to play the tournament. So it may not be as profitable, but time and investment to learn the game wise, that's probably the best. Absolutely.
All right. Gerald has a question.
Yep. Adam, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. In investing and in poker, I'm sure you're able to navigate the ups and downs. Sometimes you're on a tremendous hot streak and sometimes not so much.
Sometimes not so much, like almost equally not so much. Like my win rate is about 56% on the nail, culminating over like 100,000 hours. So yeah, I mean, half the time almost I'm going to lose, like 46% of the time I'm going to lose. So that's just the way it is. I mean, especially in the game I play, margins and equities run really thin, meaning like if we're in a hand together, I could be 60% to win, but you still have 40% to win. So long term, it's a good edge, but there's absolutely the known factor of I'm going to lose 4 out of 10 of these spots over time.
And any danger, Adam, of being barred from casinos because you're so successful?
No, because so casinos don't unfortunately, they don't really care about poker players. They keep you down in the basement in some poker room, and they care more about the table games because remember, they're not generating the same revenue from poker. They have poker so that people go into the casino, buy into the tournaments, go to restaurants, really to feed the table games. They make a small rake on every hand. So if 8 people sit down and we all play a pot, let's say the pot's $100, they may take out $7 of that pot for their profit over and over times 30 tables times a half hour, right? I mean, you can see how they make a lot of money in these tables. But the blackjack is, you're putting in $200, you lose it, they get 100% of those winnings, right? So they care much less about poker players. As long as they're getting their rake, they don't care if you win every day.
Right. And you could pull out anytime you want, right? You could fold anytime you want.
Cash game, you can leave anytime you want in a tournament.
Even though, let's say you've been winning. What someone said before, that if you're winning, they don't want you to leave. They want their money back from you.
Yeah, it depends. If you're winning, there's courtesy in these games. Like if you win in the first, half hour that you're there, and you're like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go. Doesn't look great, especially if you're somebody that's going to be back there the next day, because it's kind of a hit and run is what it's called, where you're not giving the time back for other players to play you.
Right,
it's a little bit of a seen as a selfish act, but realistically, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can play 2 hands, get up, double your money that you invested in, put $3 on the table, get a double up to 600, and leave at any time.
Good, interesting. Milton.
Yep. My question is, how do you know when somebody is bluffing? I once played poker with somebody that would bluff and lose purposely in the beginning, and the people would assume he was bluffing all the time.
That actually is a very good strategy. Yeah, it's called that's a balanced strategy. So basically, just like that's still, no matter how old the strategy is, it's still pretty prevalent, because the biggest thing, and one of the most important things in poker is to get paid on your big hands. And if your opponents only see hands that you show down where you quote unquote have the best hand, then it de-incentivizes them in the long term to pay you off, because you're always going to have it. But if you don't have it and you are caught bluffing, or you don't show your hand, the mystery of like, does he have it or does he not, makes the player still have to call you long term. So playing balance like that is extremely important. The ways that you can, there's a number of ways to look out for an opponent who's bluffing. It could be tough. Number one, there's always like your kind of psychological reads of like reading the person. If they're going up and they can't look at you, or they're going to take like a sip of water and they're looking at the TV, if they're commonly doing something, scratching their eye, or they have their hand out like this, or there's all these different body reads that you can get from a person. But the other things are bet sizing. If you have a pot of $1,000 and a player is only willing to bet a small portion, and then they come in for a big bet at the end on the river, not matching the way the hand was previously played, bet sizing can matter. It's I would say a combination of the bet sizing, player profile over time, and reading the player.
Now, let me ask you another question. You mentioned you have a portfolio you do on your own. How do you have enough time to do that and do that?
So it's that's something I'm still working on in terms of balance of time.
Can I tell you what I did yesterday? There wasn't another person in the world that sold a cash secured put option on the SPXU, which I did. And only volume, because it's a bet to protect a little bit of the portfolio that if the market goes down, that will go up. And I didn't lay out any money. They deposit the money into your account immediately.
Yeah, you did it on margin, maybe.
No, I sold it. No, it's a cash secured put option.
Okay.
And they deposit the money immediately within a minute. It's right into your account.
Okay.
Until the contract is over.
Expires. Yeah. Wow.
But nobody else did that. And, I have other friends of mine that do it. Sometimes there's only a few traded during the day.
Yeah. I haven't made that move. I did do a put the other day, but I definitely don't want to give financial advice that isn't warranted. But I in terms of allotted time, I would say in the market between 8 a.m. and about 12:30, 1 o'clock is really my market hours, right? And then I kind of rein into the afternoon where I go into play between about between 3 and 6 o'clock, depending on the day. Also balancing a marriage with it, which is always another asset of it. So, but I have a very supportive partner, which is absolutely instrumental.
Great.
Yeah,
Especially when you do well.
She's known me. We've been together for almost 13 years. And it's been a blessing. She's been with me on this journey, like through its ups and downs. So she knows what I take in, what I bring home, how much I'm in for, what happened, and we have our time too. So it's been a long journey, but something I couldn't do without her help. So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, I love it. It's also just an ultimate test because throughout, I think like the two most important things to be a successful poker player, if I was to break it down, is you have to be disciplined and you have to be patient. You have to be disciplined to correctly play the set of hands that you have over time in the same fashion, even if it doesn't yield the best result. Not being results oriented, but being disciplined to play them the right way, and disciplined to fold hands that maybe you want to get in trouble with, or to continue to raise certain hands even though they haven't yielded the best result recently. And then the patience is just to let it come through over time. Continue your studying and training. Keep taking shots within your bankroll, and then over time things long term can be successful. So.
I just want to mention Stephen Cohen. Look at he was one of the best poker players I heard there was.
Right, we talked about him earlier.
Yeah. I've heard of Stephen Cohen.
Yeah, and he made and a very successful hedge fund besides.
Yeah.
Let's take a few more questions, Adam, and then we'll let you go.
No problem.
Okay, Jeff, you want to have a question?
Yeah, I'm an old sleight of hand magician, Adam.
Okay.
And I could pretty much hide cards very easily, palm them, whatever. You ever catch anybody?
Hiding cards or like
palming.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't caught any players doing so. I really like the room that I'm in, feeling safe and well sanctioned. I have been to some rooms in Texas, particularly in Houston, where I found out later that some sketchy things were going on in terms of the dealers, and that's usually where the cutting of the deck, or in part of that how it's shuffled, or really somehow being hooked up to a camera and knowing what card is going to be dealt to certain players, things that you don't want to hear in terms of like that are going on. They're minimal in live poker. There's more of the alleged cheating, online over time. But I haven't witnessed it. There was one time and I went to Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Hard Rock Casino over there to play. And I did find out that there are players that play as a team there and collude. And unfortunately, that was a lesson to learn. But it happens. Just like in many competitive environments, there's definitely things to watch out for.
Michael.
Yeah, hi. Thanks again.
You got it, Michael.
For coming. I have a friend who lives up the block from me up here, Harry, and he has a son who's been teaching for many years, a New York City school teacher, and he plans to retire and he's very, very good, very, very talented. What would you suggest the best way for him to get started as a professional poker player?
The best way to get started? Was that the question? The best way to get started, or
the best way for him. He actually is. He supposedly, according to his dad at least, and I'm sure his dad is not lying to me. Supposedly, he's very successful.
Okay.
And
but he's looking to get into this full time. the number one thing is bankroll management above all. Bankroll management meaning you need to have a set aside amount of funds to play the game that you're looking to start with. So depending on the structure of game that he's looking at, like let's say if he's looking to play full time, it's probably in like the $2, $2.25 no limit type of environment. And in such a game, I think you'd want to have anywhere between, let's say, 15 to 25K lined up for such a game. So really playing within your means to have 15, 20, 50 buy-ins, depending on the game that you're playing in the limit, is the most important, because like we talked about earlier, you're going to have ups and downs, and you need to be able to survive the downs. If you can't survive the downs, you're not going to be able to go back up. So and no matter how good you are, you're going to go through downswings. So you need to have the bankroll for that. And then the two things I would say is like the discipline and the patience are going to be the most imperative traits that you want to continue to have. You know, play the low limit tournaments, play cash Thursday to Sunday. Those are going to be your best days usually. Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? I'll do one more. Milton, you want to be the last question?
Some days you find no matter how good you are, you just don't get the cards, no matter what.
No, some days you just can't. Some days I can't. You just can't win. It may be that you get the cards, but somebody else just has you better. It may be that you get the cards, but the boards that you're given don't match up with the cards that you get. Some days you don't get the cards, right? Some days you're just not gonna win, and you need to go into it knowing that, like, not expecting to lose, but knowing that it's a real possibility. Yeah.
Right. You'd have to play very tight those days.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to play within your bankroll and know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right, Kenny Rogers?
That's the song Milton should have played for us.
I once played in a high-low 3 cards.
Oh,
very fast. High-low with 3 cards. That's what you had. 2, 3.
I want to play some more side games like that. I don't know those enough, but yeah, it's been a great journey so far. I appreciate the time, and thanks for having me on, Mark. I'll let you get back to the program.
It was great having you, Adam. Great
rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, and love you.
Thank you, Adam.
Appreciate
the boys and the ladies here. I'm sure they really appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
Much.
Bye-bye.
Adam, I'm going to call you later. I want to talk to you a little bit.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you.
All right. If anybody who's a visitor wants to stay with us, you could stay with us. If you're a regular and you want to leave, that's fine too. Otherwise, we'll go to our regular show. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thanks. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Very good.
Adam,
very much.
Stuff.
Very interesting.
I'm still confused on how the hell what he does. I really am. But maybe one day you guys will tell me exactly what he's playing and how that works.
I'll explain it to you one day, Mark.
Yeah, I tell you would know. You and Milton will probably know more than anybody else.
Mark, is he on the Wikipedia? If you want to look up his background and his,
I don't know.
His
Adam Levy. Adam Levy sounds like a very common name. You can check it out.
Yeah, true.
He's originally from Chappaqua, lived in Pittsburgh. And now he lives in
Tampa, right?
Tampa,
but in a suburb of Tampa. He's not in Tampa proper.
Just outside Tampa.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend this show for my friend's son to go listen to.
Definitely. One of my sons is going to. He'll have it online by the end of the day or early tomorrow morning. I'm sure.
That'd be great. Let me know, please.
Yeah, sure. So why don't we go to our regular show? We're going to leave some regular stories behind. I just wanted to talk about myself, about the death of Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, 71 years old. He died today, and tragically. I mean, like, I'm 75, and I grew up wrestling-wise, and he was like a part of my growing up and watching him on WWF, then WWE. Some of you guys never got into the wrestling and watching and things like that, but my boys bought the wrestling figures, and everything was Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan actually he turned the entire wrestling business into a big business. I don't think you guys knew that. That wrestling started in areas. There was like the Northeast section, and then there was the South section, and there was the Midwest section. But when WrestleMania came, Vince McMahon brought it all together, and Hulk Hogan was the main reason WrestleMania won. They just called it WrestleMania in 1985. You know, with his matches with Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, The Rock. You know, we all know it's fixed, but it brought a lot of people together, and a lot of people really got into it. Any of you guys ever get into it as kids? I know when I talk about it,
I loved it. I loved it as a kid. I loved
50s and 60s.
Played Argentina Rocca. And
you're going all the way. You're going back to the 50s with Argentina Rocca.
Killer Kowalski, Carl von Hess. I mean, these guys were so fun.
Look, I know Antonino Rocco.
But that's going back for much. That's 30 years. That's 30 years before Hulk Hogan.
Mark,
yeah, God, Steve.
I was friendly with McFoley's father.
Oh yeah. And you have conversations?
Oh yeah, he used to tell me about, when he started, he took classes out in Pittsburgh, and he drove out there on weekends and slept in his car. There was no money.
Right, there's no money in the early days. No. And sometimes it was on Channel 9 on a weird hour, maybe Channel 5. Channel 5 it was on.
Ray Morgan on Channel 5.
Then it was on. Remember, we had UHF. Remember UHF?
Yeah.
Little antenna? That's how they were telecasting their matches there.
He
was like more than wrestling. I mean, like I know.
I
know.
He was on Channel 5.
Yeah,
Ray Morgan was on Channel 5, Mark.
That's right.
Right.
I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. He was more than wrestling. I mean, he was in movies afterwards.
Yeah.
He had a reality show, Hogan Knows Best. There was a controversy one time. He was having sex with a woman, and it was videoed, and the person was blackmailing him and all that. He won the lawsuit, and he won lots of money from that person who supposedly released that tape. But just sad to hear someone, again, another person from our past, like Ozzy Osbourne. And today we heard that
Chuck
Mangione.
Why didn't he have in threes, doesn't it?
Yeah, just terrible. All right, that's all. If anybody else wants to say anything about Hulk Hogan, this is the time.
I'm going to say when he turned bad, so he joined the WA or something like that, and he grows a beard,
NWO,
and he turns villain. And that's one of the most famous and most lucrative episodes in the history of wrestling, when he turned into a villain. And
people watched it. People watched it. Yeah, right. He went from red to yellow, red to all black.
I thought he was going to be vice president.
His buddy is Trump. You know that. All right, let's go on to some of our stories here, because I think we have some good ones. Gerald, you want to go first with your sports person of the week?
Absolutely.
And you're sponsored this week by, believe it or not, David Wright's Undershirts.
Okay. Wow. So my sports personality this week, I put that in quotes, is on Dr. David Olchek, who just passed away. Wonderful man. He was a renowned orthopedic surgeon. He was the Mets head team physician from 1991 to 2001 and the medical director from 2005 to 2024. As an orthopedic surgeon, he worked on knees, shoulders, elbows, sports injuries, and he was involved not only as an orthopedic surgeon, but of course in sports medicine. What does an orthopedic surgeon do specifically? They are medical specialists who diagnose, treat, and prevent conditions afflicting the musculoskeletal system, which includes bones, joints, tendons, and muscles. While their title includes surgeon, they utilize both surgical and non-surgical methods to manage pain, improve mobility and function, and prevent future injuries for for patients of all ages. Dr. Olchek was a pioneer in Tommy John surgery. While he didn't invent the surgery, he was trained, I believe, by Dr. Job, and he did over 2,400 of those operations, and he was able to change the operational technique because he had lots of fatigue when he performed the operation as it was first put together, if you will. And his patients included Zach Wheeler, Tommy John surgery, and Hall of Fame to be Jacob deGrom. Tommy John surgery, also known as ulnar collateral ligament, and Milt can talk more about this. Reconstruction is a surgical procedure to repair or replace a damaged UCL in the elbow. Dr. Olchek altered, again, the operational procedure to facilitate the completion of the operation. Here's something interesting. Of all of the active MLB pitchers, approximately 36% of them have had Tommy John surgery. That's a pretty big number, guys. 30
or will have Tommy, or will have Tommy John surgery.
Or will have. Dr. Olchek was much beloved and admired by his colleagues. He was associated for decades with the Hospital for Special Surgery. He was also an NBA advisor, and he had several other positions. And in short, he improved the lives of many people, both athletes and non-athletes. In short, he was a man who was beloved and appreciated by many people. And this concludes my short and brief sports personality report on the late and great Dr. David Olchek.
Jerry, tell the origin of why it's called Tommy John surgery.
I went over that, Mark. I'm going to leave that to Milt. Milt, why don't you talk about it? Milt.
I don't know why they called it that, Tommy John's. What?
It had to do with ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction, Mike. If that means
I had to do that in school my first year when I had a human anatomy. I remember cutting the arm open.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to identify all of that. That was a long time ago, 1965.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a very simple reason why it's called Tommy John surgery.
He might have been the first one.
He was the very first one who had the surgery.
But who did that? Dr. Job, J-O-B.
Job, J-O-B.
Job in California.
J-O-B, Job.
Yeah.
Did it.
All right.
And then Dr. Andrews down in Alabama.
Job, Andrews, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's a Jeopardy question.
Yeah, right.
And after the surgery, he just threw those sinkers. And actually, when Tommy John pitched, especially before he came to the Yankees, he was one of the most boring pitchers you'd ever want to watch because he threw the exact same pitch, and everybody hit a ground ball to second or short, and that was the Tommy John game.
That wasn't boring. That was great pitching.
And the man should be in the Hall of Fame just because his name is mentioned every single day.
And plus
Every single day, Tommy John is
mentioned. He
mentioned.
won 288 games.
Do you think there's any specific pitch that would cause that injury?
Curveball.
No. The fact is that pitchers throw as hard as they can on every pitch.
Overhand fastball.
Jerry, you know what was strange? When I used to play baseball too, I threw a screwball at times.
I did that too.
And I did that, listen to this, I tried a new serve a week ago in tennis where the ball would cut to the other side. And I had terrible arm pain for a few days. I had it went away, but I'm not going to do that anymore. It's the way I held the racket and twisted my arm for the ball to jump the other way.
It wasn't tennis elbow?
No, it's the opposite part. This was the inside. Who do you think had the best screwball in baseball?
Carl Hubble. In short,
Fernando Valenzuela
Louis
had a good
Arroyo.
one.
Louis Arroyo.
Yeah. Didn't Eddie Lopat also do that?
I don't know, but they don't throw that. No one throws that pitch anymore.
In short, Milt, we talked about this.
They don't call it that.
Submarine pitches, softball pitches. There's less strain on the elbow,
Right.
and the human body was not meant to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Plain and simple.
That's right.
And very interesting. I don't know if it was brought up on last week's show, and I did some research. Someone maybe last week, how they have innings limits.
Yes.
In like Little League.
Yeah.
Innings limits, and with the pitches they can't throw more than 100 pitches before they take them out. So I had lunch this week with a high school girls softball coach. Okay, Steve, you might know more about this than me, but I asked him, is there an innings limit for girls in softball? No.
No.
No, it's simple. No. There's no innings limit. I mean, the girls can go underhand with their windmill.
Yeah.
They can pitch every single game.
Mark.
Yeah.
When I was teaching, my school won the state championship in softball back like in 2007, and one girl pitched every inning of every game.
That's it.
What I can't understand,
they don't get those injuries.
Effects on her arm.
No.
What, Gerald?
What I can't understand is why there aren't a lot of submarine pitches in baseball.
You ever try throwing that way? It's hard.
100 miles, and you
can't throw 100 miles
an hour.
Control it.
I threw submarine. I threw everything.
So did I.
You can't throw it more than probably 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Roger, welcome back. What's up?
Hey, Roger.
Yeah. No, it's not sexy throwing submarine pitching, right, Mark?
I remember
Dave
back
Quisenberry.
in the 50s.
Is Dave Quisenberry a Hall of
good.
Famer?
He didn't throw that hard, though. No.
Remember a guy named Ted Abernathy, I think.
Ted Abernathy. Dick Hyde.
He was the first that we would remember.
And Jacoby, right.
Dick Hyde used to throw the submarine.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. Years ago, Jim Cott, he would harp on building up arm strength. He did not believe anything about this pitching 5 innings or innings limits and stuff like that. And he was very convincing, and he would pitch 9 innings every time he came out.
Well, he pitched in the era they didn't count the pitches.
Right.
Yeah.
Mark Quisenberry never made the Hall of Fame.
No, I know he's not in the Hall of Fame. We're just saying, would you put him in there?
Yeah,
definitely.
I never got votes. All right, let's move on. Larry, you're up to you. Your sports stories by Larry. Sponsored this week. Get this. What's your last name? Schwartz? SCHW, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're sponsored this week by SCH.
Thanks.
My story this week is entitled, Most All-Star Games Are Far From Competitive. The All-Star Games for the NBA, NFL, and MLB have been disappointing in recent years. They put on a show but feel unserious and lack competitive spirit. As an exception, the WNBA All-Star Games are usually serious and highly competitive. Accordingly, in 2024, the NBA All-Star Game drew just 4.7 million viewers, the second lowest in the past 25 years. Also, the viewership of the NFL Pro Bowl hovered around 6 million, its second worst ever. And the viewership of MLB's All-Star Game has dropped from 22 million in 1992 to 7 million today. The reason often given for these declines in viewerships are, quote, the stars don't want to play due to risk of injury and lack of meaningful stakes, close quote. Attempts to tweak the formats have failed to reverse the decline. In stark contrast, the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game set a new record with 3.44 million viewers on ABC, more than double its previous high. The reason often given for the increase in WNBA All-Star viewership are the emergence of high-profile rookie class who have played at a high level, have energized the league, and have drawn significant new attention from both fans and the media. However, the WNBA succumbed to a showcase for the 2025 All-Star Game.
Point scored list.
It had ridiculous rule changes, 20-second shot clock and 4-point shots with a score of 151 to 131. Viewership held steady from 2024's. That completes my story for this week.
I think a lot of the people are ignorant. They thought Caitlin Clark was going to play.
Well,
The average person didn't know she's been hurt.
To last year, even without her playing.
Yeah. Questions? All right, Michael.
I just want to say to Larry that, in my opinion, when you think of all the professional sports leagues, I'm not that familiar with the women's sports league, but I think there's a lack of respect for the commissioners. Like, could you imagine an all-star game run by Kennesaw Mountain Landis or somebody like that? He was a man. I mean, Aaron Judge and Otani would not go home to their newborn babies so fast. They would have been available for the home run hitting contest. That would have made that all-star game humongous. And I really submit. And you ever watch the NFL awards show? And when you hear Gary, who's the commissioner of the NFL? I forgot, Gary Bettman, whatever. Every time his name is announced, they boo. There's no respect, and they aren't, that type of a leader to get their all-star games to what they can be. That's wrong. An all-star game could be. I remember growing up watching these all-star games. I lived by those all-stars. They were great. All of those players in there, and they would never leave early to go home. So I think that's one of the reasons why the all-star games are the way they are. I think it's a lack of respect of the leadership of the sports.
Well, baseball has the best all-star game out of the top four sports there. I think so. But all right, let's a few more questions. Joe, we haven't heard from you.
I just wanted to respond to Mike.
Yeah.
I posted this once, but money's involved now. But the All-Star games, the players would get a little extra money for playing in the All-Star games, and also they're getting so much money now. You don't want the teams don't want their star players getting any risk of injuries. That's why they make one appearance and then they sit out the rest of the game. They just don't want any injuries.
Remember the days when the All-Star game, they had two All-Star games for a few years, and the starting pitcher went three.
They went 3 innings. Unless they were getting lit up, they went 3 innings, and the starting players would play 6-7 innings. And you had a real game, and it meant something.
Except that it really didn't mean anything.
There's too much money on the line.
But they have like 30 players per team.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
If you lived in Minnesota, you want to see the Minnesota players.
This is an all-star.
You had eight teams in the league.
I've always wanted to see players play. Not everybody from the starting team, then you don't see anybody else. If you're listed as an all-star, you should be in the game, and it's fun to watch. I think it's great.
Everyone should get. I think everyone should get in what they did with
everybody should get it.
Because they get money. I wonder, did the winning team get more money than the losing team? Probably, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Mark, remember when the winner of the All-Star game had the World Series?
Yeah. That quickly was evaporated, especially in the days when Tampa Bay was a losing team. And you want their pitcher coming in. He don't give a crap. I don't care if we win or lose. My team's not getting in. Gerald again, and then Mike, and then Dave.
Here's a parallel between the NBA and the WNBA as far as all-star games and high scores, etc. In the 2025 WNBA All-Star, Team Collier scored 151 points and Team Clark 131. Right. 282 points, Larry, in the All-Star game. I thought that the WNBA would play a competitive All-Star game and not let everybody shoot high scores.
Well, up to that point, they were doing just that, but they succumbed to the showmanship.
Showmanship, the 4-point play, the 4-point shot.
Well, here's something else. In 2023, they scored 270 points. 2022, they scored 250 points. So it's been a trend at least the last 2 or 3 years with the number of points they score.
Well, it was competitive earlier.
The public is getting to know the players. Plus, they're going to have expansion the next 2-3 years. They're going to have 2 teams next year, then another team, and then another team.
Yes.
So they're building their they're building their business up.
Their brand, yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, okay. It seems to me that the NHL this year did find a winning formula for their All-Star game or games. I guess that international tournament that they held. I think that's a possibility for baseball. It might be for basketball, but it would be a little bit lopsided in favor of the Americans. But this is a format that holds promise, it seems to me, and we might see it elsewhere.
If it doesn't start a war.
I'll watch that.
Dave?
Of course, in the MLB, every team has to have a player on the All-Star, so that tends to dilute the All-Star game too.
That's
true. That's right. But you support your team. They have an All-Star. You'd like to see, if you want to see him in the game.
Equal time.
Joe.
Again, as far as basketball goes, nobody's going to play defense. And either the NBA or the WNBA. Nobody wants anybody getting hurt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, but if it's the U.S. versus France, they might play defense. In fact,
you think the NBA would allow it?
Shooting.
Well, I think they'll all look at the format. It seems to me that the NHL format proved successful.
Okay.
People liked it.
I'm talking hockey, not basketball.
Well, we'd all like to see a real NBA All-Star game where everybody tries, but rather than the 200.
You'll probably see it.
But I'm saying the nationalism is
not going to happen.
Is a force.
Right, there'll be a rule for an All-Star game in basketball to say no driving to the basket allowed. Only taking outside shots. No driving.
3-point shots.
Or you can have an All-Star game where the 2 teams represent countries that hate each other.
Yeah.
That could
Michael, you gotta have to
Like,
fix
that-
your
that would be-
connection. Jeff, you need to call him and talk to him later about his
It's his
connection.
bandwidth. It's his Wi-Fi. It's
Yeah,
simple
just
as
talk
that.
to him privately about that because this is
weird,
like
weak
2 weeks in a
connection.
row, Michael.
Come back.
Connection,
All right.
whatever.
All right. Anybody have a question?
Not gonna help.
Fred, I see. Go ahead.
Yeah. In baseball, years ago, there was league's identity, not just because of interleague play. If you guys remember, you couldn't make an interleague trade. There was a National League and the American League separate.
Right.
And Ron Darling told a story a couple weeks ago. He says, when he was in for the All-Star game, the league president, remember the days when the league presidents came in, Chuck Feeney, and says, you guys cannot absolutely lose to the American League.
Yeah.
And so
And the
guys,
game meant
guys
nothing.
think,
Game meant nothing.
before free agency, the teams stayed with their own league, more. So there was more of an identity.
But there should be no more leagues since they play each other. Everyone plays everybody. All right, let's move on. Wayne, we have not heard from you. Are you ready to do a thinking question?
He's muted.
You're muted.
Wayne.
Wayne, you're muted.
Wayne, you're muted. We can't hear you, Wayne. We can't see you either.
Mark, can you unmute?
All right, no, he's still there. He does. Can you do it? Take it away.
Unmute thyself.
Oh my God, you're gonna lose your sponsor.
You want me to call him?
Help him,
No,
Mark.
he's done it before. He's a big
Mark,
boy.
you should be able to unmute him, Mark.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to do that.
Jeff, could you unmute him?
No, I don't. I'm not the host.
Well, how do I do it? It says ask to unmute.
Try the top left.
You're still muted. We cannot ask. Cannot.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Wayne,
Muted.
you're muted.
Wayne, we
can't
don't hear
you,
a thing.
Wayne, we cannot hear you, Wayne.
Let me call him. Hold on.
All right, let's move on then. Okay, we'll move on. We'll come back to him. Roger, your hot wire report. You have a hot wire report?
I do.
Sponsored by Bar Soap.
Okay.
As opposed to
that's
liquid
useful. It's a practical, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, go.
Okay, a couple of us talked early this week. The Phillies Red Sox game that ended on a walk-off catcher's interference.
God, yeah.
That hadn't happened since 1971, and of all people, Johnny Bench was the last time he was involved, apparently. So when they against the Dodgers, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, I think they had the ghost runner on, and then I think there was a bunt or something. Then they intentionally walked the guy, and I saw the replay, and it was like a check swing, but it did graze the catcher's mitt. So I mean, they appealed it and they reviewed it, and yeah, that's how the game ended. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was a wild pitch, and then they intentionally walked the guy.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was like a check swing, but it grazed the the catcher's glove. So yeah, they reviewed it, and yeah, that's what it was. So. Mariners, I saw they snapped the Brewers' 11-game winning streak. So Brewers still playing good ball. NFL Players Association, I saw the executive director, Lloyd Howell, step down. Apparently an ESPN report came out that he was maintaining a part-time consulting job with the Carlyle Group, which is a private equity fund, and that holds league approval to seek minority ownership in NFL franchises. So that was kind of funny how that was kind of held under the rug, so he felt it was in his best interest to step aside. So a little crazy there. A slight conflict of interest. Let's see. The Chiefs, I saw sign defensive end George Karlaftis, 4-year, $93 million extension. He's only 24. Last year, what he had? 37 tackles, 8 sacks, career high 28 quarterback hits, 49 pressures, was second on the team. All this stuff that they keep track of in statistics. Bengals pass rusher Trey Hendrickson is not reporting training camp, contract issues. Last year, he was a first-team All-Pro. He led the league in sacks with 17 and a half. I think he had that 2 years in a row. And he's been a Pro Bowler for last 4 years. So I know he wants some big money too. That Karlaftis and some of these other guys are getting. So Saints, I saw a safety Tyrann Mathieu retired after 12 seasons. He also played for the Cardinals, Texans, and Chiefs. So with the Chiefs, he did get a Super Bowl ring. Career 3 Pro Bowls, 36 interceptions, 4 sacks, 7 forced fumbles. NBA, I saw the Lakers sign guard Marcus Smart, 2-year, $11 million contract. He agreed to a buyout with the Wizards. Sorry, Mike, I don't know if you were going to talk about that. He's 31. The Lakers had to waive guard Jordan Goodwin to open a roster spot. He was a former Defensive Player of the Year. He started the year with the Grizzlies. I know he had some injuries. They shipped him to the Wizards at the trading deadline. Looked like it was one of those cost-saving maneuvers. And Chris Paul is still going. The Clippers signed him to a 1-year, $3.6 million contract. He's 40 years old. Last year, he averaged almost 9 points, almost 7.5 assists, 3.6 rebounds, 1.3 steals with the Spurs. He's 11-time, All NBA selection. He played for the Clippers from 2011 to 2017, so I guess they want him back. This will be his 21st year in the NBA.
Wow.
So not too many guys have gotten that far. Obviously LeBron and, Vertical Vince and guys like that. But anyway.
Did anything notorious that happened with him, Chris Paul, like controversial?
I don't know. Anybody?
I'm just asking.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, haven't heard anything. Quickly in the NHL, I saw the Jets wing Blake Wheeler's retiring after 16 years. He didn't play this past season. He spent 13 years with the Thrashers/Jets franchise. Parts of 3 years with the Bruins. Actually finished his career with the Rangers. 6'5" guy, 943 points in 1,172 games. And I saw at tennis, Venus Williams apparently is still playing. 45 years old. She became the oldest woman since Martina Navratilova, who was 47, to win a match. So how about that?
She lost in doubles today.
She lost in doubles? Okay.
But she's still in the singles.
I didn't realize she was still playing. I think she took some time off, but I guess she apparently played well. She upset someone who was half her age. So
did anyone see her commercial on why she went back to playing? She said she got a bill. She's on Cobra because she's not an active player, so she had to go back to playing to get the medical coverage.
Oh, come on. Yeah, come on.
That's great.
And they're trying to convince her sister to get back and playing too.
Yeah, and I think she was recently engaged too, so that's good news for Venus too. Yeah, I think yeah.
Mark, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good. Let him finish up. I'll come back to you.
Sure. No, I just wanted to know if you can hear me.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
I'm
Are you done, Roger?
That's all I got, Mark.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody want to
Yeah.
comment on Roger's stories? Milton?
Yeah, I just want to tell you, when Venus Williams won her first U.S. Open, they played that song Venus by Shocking Blue.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You know that song?
Not Frankie Avalon?
They played, no, Shocking Blue by Venus. A different, totally
the one
different
by,
player.
Frankie
They
Avalon.
played it at the U.S. Open.
Milk,
About
Venus,
Venus,
and blue
Goddess of
jeans.
Love. Remember that?
Milk, Venus, and blue
Venus,
jeans.
No desire.
Venus
How about
and blue
One Touch of
jeans.
Venus with
Jimmy
Ava
Clanton.
Gardner? You guys remember
Yes.
that one?
Jimmy Clanton.
Yes.
But anyway, if you ever want to hear a song, I'm not going to do it. Play Venus by Shocking Blue. That's
You'll
what
probably
they
play it for us in a few weeks. You will.
Another day,
Put it on the list. All right, Wayne, we'll come
All right.
back to you. Your thinking question of the day, sponsored by Bathroom Scales. How you go?
We shall throw them all out. Sorry, I didn't get on before. I don't know if it happened to anyone. I was on the phone with the IRS for a client for an hour and a half. The woman gets on, then disconnects me. So I'm very, very frustrated with that.
Terrific.
Anyway, it's a two-part baseball question for the day. It is either the game that will get you into the playoffs or the final game of the World Series. And you need a pitcher to pitch that game. You have a choice of Whitey Ford, Madison Baumgartner, Chuck Schilling, or Andy Pettit. Now, Mark, who would you pick?
Say it again. Whitey Ford.
Whitey Ford, Madison Baumgartner, Chuck Schilling, or Andy Pettit.
It was Baumgartner.
Baumgartner, yeah.
I wouldn't pick him. Andy Pettit.
Chuck
I
Schilling,
wouldn't pick
Whitey
him.
Ford. Who'd you
Not
pick?
Schilling. I don't like Schilling. Who's the Ford? Whitey Ford.
Would have to
Who
be
you
one.
pick?
Chairman of the
I'll
board.
take Whitey Ford.
Chairman of the board. That's it.
Gerald, who would you pick?
I pick Whitey Ford.
Yeah, probably.
Steve?
I would pick Ford also.
What?
Fred?
Wait, didn't Baumgartner?
I'd go with Andy Pettit.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff?
Really?
That too, Fred.
Why would you go with Andy Pettit?
Because he's a big game pitcher. Look at his in big games.
Yeah. Okay.
Take a look at it.
Jeffrey?
Whitey Ford.
Milt?
Probably Whitey Ford.
Stewart? Mike?
Schilling at his peak.
Who'd you pick?
Schilling
Schilling.
at his peak.
Joe?
Whitey Ford.
Roger?
And Whitey Ford, but for some reason, Stengel didn't start him game one against the Pirates, though, Wayne.
That's why he was fired.
Right.
Hey, don't bring that up anymore.
That's why Ralph Howe took over.
Dave?
Brought that up too many times.
Whitey Ford.
How about
Roger,
you,
no
Mike?
problem
Michael?
with me, Roger. No
Michael,
problem.
you there?
Michael, who would you say?
Michael.
Michael.
You there?
I know.
I would do Whitey Ford and definitely Art Dittmar.
Okay. My pick was Madison Bumgarner.
Okay.
And you're laughing. Madison Bumgarner has the lowest DRA in the playoff in the World Series. Okay, the second part of the question. It's the last game of the World Series. It's bottom of the ninth. You're down 1 run. Bases are loaded. Willie Davis is on second base, so you know a single will win you the game.
Right.
You look down your bench and you see the following people: Pete Rose, George Brett, Yogi Berra, or Tony Gwynn. Who do you want up to pitch up, Mark?
I'll take Brett.
Jerry?
I'll take Tony Gwynn.
I'm with Jerry.
Steve?
I got Tony Gwynn also.
Fred?
George Brett.
Jeff?
Has to be Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
Milt?
Yogi Berra for me.
Steve? Stewart?
You're muted, Stewart.
Stewart, you're
Mike?
muted.
Mike, who would you pick?
I would pick Yogi Berra because
Tony Gwynn.
right
Okay.
down 100
Yeah,
yards
Gwynn.
and it'd be
Joe?
just
Highest
over
batting
the foul line.
Joe, who would you pick, Joe?
Yogi Berra. They tortured
Rod?
my Dodgers in the 50s.
Tell me about
George
it.
Berra.
That's
I'm going to go with them.
Wait, Dave, I changed
They
my
earned
mind.
it.
Al Kaline.
Roger, who would you pick?
Al Kaline.
Luis Raz.
Roger?
I go with Gwynn. Are these like pinch hitters kind of thing, Wayne?
No, just a good guy. Dave?
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
Mike? Michael? Michael, you there?
Michael.
Which Michael? Which one?
I would say Pete Rose.
I would go with the majority, and I would pick Tony Gwynn. I think he would be the best singles. All you need is a single, and I think he'd be the best singles hitter in that spot.
Yeah.
So that's the question of my day.
Wayne,
You should have added Rod Carew in there.
Yeah. Maybe if you do, since we're basically, most of us are from the New York area. Mike is not, Larry's not, but Larry was New York. Were you ever in New York, Mike Keynes?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So maybe you should eliminate choices of Yankees or Mets. Because the local, because that's who we would
bias for.
Mike,
No, it's not bias.
I understand, but I
it's
just
pure
was
fact.
I just was calculating. Tony Gwynn had the most on the hitter you'd want up there to hit. So, but you're right, I will eliminate Yankees.
I think that may be if you had like Carew, and if you had Brett, if you had Rose and Gwynn, without the New York flavor.
A couple people only pick Yogi.
Gwynn for
because Yogi struck out fewer times than these other.
What's up, Raj?
Yeah, I think Rose had the most singles of any player. I think, right?
Yeah. Roger, do you remember what Mickey Mantle said about Pete Rose singles?
What did he say, Gerald?
If I had that many singles, I'd wear a dress.
If I hit like Pete Rose, that's what he said. If I hit like Pete Rose,
right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Pete Rose was like the most intimidating singles hitter. That's why I would go Pete Rose.
I did one more before I go, Mark. I don't know why did everyone disregard Madison Bumgarner? He was the lowest ER pitcher in playoff and World Series.
Small sample.
Yeah, maybe it was that 1 year in the sun. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Dominated.
Yeah, he was dominating.
He was a dominating playoff. Plays a dominating playoff and World Series pitcher.
And he pitched on short rest relief.
And this is just an opinion. No one's right and no one's wrong.
And came in on relief many times in the World Series.
Who did?
Wayne,
who you would rather pick over anybody? Aaron Small, because he never loses. How's that one?
Who?
Aaron Small. Remember him?
Yeah.
With your internet, you sound like you're drunk.
Could be.
All right, let's move on to oh God, we got to go to Michael's Yankees and Jets. You better keep this short because we won't even hear anything. You're sponsored by Air.
Right.
Pump.
Well, the Jets, the Jets, one of the luckiest teams in the world, so they have the opportunity to the Super Bowl this year. Tyrod Taylor, which would be one of the more special moments in the history of sport. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Justin Fields broke something in his toe, and who knows how his toe is going to be. But we know he's out, and the manager and the coach of the Jets is happy, and he doesn't seem to want to reveal too much. We shall see what will happen with him. Now, as far as my beloved Yankees, yesterday was very, very, very annoying game. It's funny. They're very annoying games. Those are
we can't understand anything.
Michael, it's very hard to understand you.
I can't understand anything. The internet is really bad. I'm sorry.
He has no Wi-Fi service there. That's simple as that.
Let me get closer, okay? And
it's not the closer, Michael. It's your Wi-Fi.
If you don't hear me, I'll stop. Following last night's monstrous series, it was losing the debacle against Toronto. There must have been
Michael, it's your Wi-Fi.
Michael, it's your Wi-Fi. It's not your sound. It's something you have to do.
He's got to call up the internet.
Mark, for Mike, fire Boone. I'll summarize everything.
Right.
I'm sorry, Mike. We can't understand you. We'll give you 10 minutes next week if you fix it.
He might try to relocate his computer.
Go Yankees. Send it to Jerry, and maybe he could read it.
Well, we'll maybe do that next week.
Why don't you call it in?
Let's go on with the team that's in. Are they in first place? The Mets right now.
Half game.
Go ahead. Joe, your Mets report sponsored by Raccoons.
They're tied in the
I used to have them in front of my house sometimes.
All you Met fans have to root for the Yankees this weekend.
They're tied
Yes.
in the loss column, Mark. The Phillies and the Mets.
The Mets are half game ahead.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think they have one more win and the same number of
All
losses.
right, go ahead, Joe.
All right, so Mets are on a 4-game winning streak. But until the last game, Lindor, Alonso, both of them were doing absolutely nothing, and yet the Mets somehow came back and won 2 of those games against the Angels. I don't know how they did it, but they did.
Right.
Alvarez.
Angels
Absolutely
helped.
amazing.
2 good days.
Angels fielding
I
helped.
know Alvarez hit a home
That
run.
too.
They somehow found a way to win late.
Back-to-back errors.
That's the mark. That's the mark of a team that might make it into the postseason.
That's Mark
But
with
what
a K.
But what I wanted to talk about is that I can't. I look on my my Google News on my phone, and you can't go more than 1 or 2 lines without talking about who the Mets are going to trade or who they aren't going to trade. And so it really comes down to this: are they going to give up the future, or what they think might be the future, for a hire for the rest of the season? They got burned very badly with the Javi Baez, Pete Crow Armstrong trade, and I think
that makes it tough.
I think Stearns and probably Cohen are a little bit reluctant to give up guys who are in the majors now, like Vientos or Mauricio or Beatty, for a hired gun for the rest of the season. Maybe a pitcher,
a rental.
maybe a hitter.
Well,
I'm not
they're all
sure.
hired guns.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there are a couple of players away from really, possibly dominating the National League East. But there's no saying, that whoever they bring in, especially if it's a pitcher, is going to do it for them. And generally, I think teams don't like to trade position players for pitchers.
Right.
That's a generalization, but
pitchers only pitch every
there's
few days,
there's a germ of truth to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Mets are going to do.
Unless they're
Are they
confident
going to
that
stick?
when
Are they going to stick with a platoon basically of McNeil and Taylor in center field? I mean, Taylor's a first-rate outfielder. First-rate.
But he's not hitting.
That's the
He's
problem.
not hitting much. He's not hitting much. McNeil
don't
is
have Winter.
He's an adequate player in the outfield, and he's hitting a little bit better. There's
don't
also
have
rumors
Siri.
that they might come back and go for Bader. He won't cost them that much, I don't think, and it might be worth doing that. I don't know. Maybe a minor league prospect.
Right.
They might do that.
Teams want the Mets farm. The Mets are very strong in the farm system, and they have some really good pitchers there.
You heard nothing.
They don't trade away their top prospects.
You heard nothing except Mauricio, Vientos, and Beatty is 3 no-miss players, and so far they haven't been, except for Vientos' season last year, they haven't been. There's no miss. There's no miss to them. They've missed so far. Well, you give up on Vientos. He had 27 homers last year.
Acuna's going to go.
Up on him.
Joe, it's too early to tell about Mauricio. I mean, the guy's
I
coming off
agree with you. I wouldn't
major
give up
surgery.
on
He didn't play
Mauricio.
at all last year.
Right.
They're not getting rid of Mauricio.
He's a switch hitter with power. You don't give up on those guys.
Acuna can go.
Well, that's
No.
it.
And
He's a
Beatty
good base stealer. He's a good fielder.
That's it. But so they'll get another. They'll get someone.
Well, he hit last year.
Beatty has his
when
ups
he
and
came
downs.
up.
Might start to
In the
hit a little.
playoffs. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Jose.
Manaea's back. He's pitching well. Senga didn't have it the last game he pitched. McGill's almost ready to come back. That will make some people happy and a couple of people not happy here.
Right. Consistent enough.
Peterson seems to be holding his own, so the rotation's not bad. Diaz isn't pitching well. They keep shuffling the relief pitchers. Davinsky got DFA'd. I can't keep track of who's in and who's out. But
how much Holmes has left as a starter?
The guy with the long hair pitched very well the other day. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
Stanek?
Brian Stanek. Yeah, Tuesday night he got the save.
Yeah. Diaz, again, as I said, Diaz has been pitching well. So I think the Mets are in fairly good position. I mean, the Phillies, you never know. The Phillies are the kind of team that will roll the dice and will go after somebody that may help them.
Right.
Nola, I don't know whether he's coming back or not yet. I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything.
No.
Still hasn't been. I don't think he's been activated yet, but they still have probably the best starting pitching in the division.
Yep.
Nope. It's going to come
Joe,
down to the
Joe-
Mets and Phillies.
Diaz
Joe,
hit
you
that
know-
guy in the head yesterday. Did you see that shot?
No.
No, I
I
didn't.
thought the guy was dead.
What happened?
Bounced right up.
Ninth
Joe,
inning,
I,
Diaz
Joe,
hit
I understand you don't
Chris
trade
Taylor.
He got his
an
head, his
everyday
helmet.
player for
The
a
helmet.
pitcher, Joe, unless you
Yeah.
get a pitcher who's under control for a couple of years and a
Yeah.
pitcher that can make a major difference. Not just if for example, like the Minnesota Twins probably wouldn't trade Ryan, but if you could
Yeah.
get a pitcher like Ryan and give up a Vanitos or any one of these guys, he's under control for a couple of years and he's an ace. He'd probably be the best pitcher on the team. That you do, but for rental, you're 100% right.
Yeah,
You don't
but do you
trade
think?
Not
But
working.
I think I'm going to guess that Minnesota's going to ask for more than just Vientos.
No, I understand that they'll
Yeah,
ask
you
for
know.
other players in
You
their
don't know.
system, but if you can get a pitcher like that who's under control and really would be an ace, that you sometimes you pull the trigger on that.
You'd have to give away somebody pretty good for that to happen, though.
Yeah. Roger?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Wayne, but I just remember the early 90s, Toronto rented David Cohn for a couple of months, and they got a championship out of it. So,
Yeah, right.
you know, it depends what the bigger picture is, you know. So.
92 and
I
93.
know it's a tough call. I don't envy these guys their jobs.
Steve,
How about Cespedes?
Right, that's turned the whole team around. Cespedes trade, right? They weren't hitting it all before that.
Right.
Yeah. That was amazing.
Mike, I mean, Joe, relief pitching has got to be their priority.
Yeah, right. Relief pitching, right?
It's got to be relief pitching right now. That's
absolutely.
Gotta be a priority.
Absolutely. Stevie Cohen and Stearns, they were not involved in that Pete Crow.
Oh no, I know that. I know
that was the regime before, right?
But it's got to be on their
Brody
minds.
Van Wagenen or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got to be on their minds.
Van Wagenen didn't do much good.
There's no way of knowing that.
All right. Well, let's. Anybody else going to comment before we move on?
I just want to know if I'm audible. You
Don't
guys hear
talk.
me now?
Just don't talk.
Mike,
You
try
look
turning
great.
the
You look
picture off,
great.
maybe. Turn the picture off. Sometimes it works. The sound will be better.
Well, I can hear you.
Maybe. All right, Fred. NBA, Knicks, Giants, sponsored by Meat Sauce.
Okay, not a lot of basketball going on. Roger coveted. Chris Paul signed. Marcus Smart signed with the Lakers. Football, the Giants training camp started yesterday. The first day of training camp. Russell Wilson in 11-on-11 drills threw 3 touchdown passes to Malik Neighbors. Justin Dart threw an interception for a touchdown return plus a touchdown. No injuries to report. Andrew Thomas is starting out on the player he can't perform list, whatever. So he's not
Physically unable to
practicing,
perform.
but they're just being very cautious with him. And we'll see what happens as training camp proceeds. That's about it.
All right. If anyone want to comment there, Wayne?
Yeah, Fred. One more thing: the Knicks are trying to talk to Pablo Pagani, who's to play for them as their assistant coach.
Right, as their lead assistant. They've been turned down with several people because they would be lateral moves. So I saw that little thing in the paper yesterday.
Okay.
And the only thing of in the NBA, Wayne will be happy. Remember his Duke guy, Carl Filipowski, was named most valuable player of the Summer League. Plays with the Utah Jazz.
All right. Thank you for that report. Mike, DC and surroundings report. Do you have anything?
Yes.
Before you go, again, our deepest condolences to you.
Yes.
And we're happy you're back, but we understand wholeheartedly what's going on in your brains. But
Sure. Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank all of you that sent emails or other means of condolences and so on. It was quite gratifying to hear from you. And the good news on my side, health-wise, is my wife, who had a stroke during this period, is now in a rehab facility, but doing much better. And I'll expect her home in a few days. So things are looking up a little bit. And I also want to comment separately that I once worked for Doubleday on Long Island for a summer, and lived in Long Beach, so I am familiar with the New York area.
Okay.
All right.
Get straight.
So I'm just going to give a brief report on the Nationals, where they've shaken things up quite considerably. I don't know whether anybody even noticed outside of this area, but they fired the GM, Mike Rizzo, and the manager, Dave Martinez, and replaced him with, I think, temporaries, a guy by the name of Mike DiBartolo, I believe was maybe director of scouting. I think that was his position before this. And the bench coach, Miguel Cairo, is now the manager, at least for the time being. The team is 41-61 on the year, which, if you check the standings, there's others that are close, but there are only two that are worse. And they are Colorado and the Chicago White Sox, which are basically lost causes as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So the questions always arise with this team. What are they willing to put out? They have three stars. I think they're all stars, actually. Mackenzie Gore and Wood and C.J. Abrams, James Wood. And, those guys are still under team control for another year or two, but sooner or later they'll come up and decisions will have to be made. And they have a couple of other guys, Dylan Cruz, who's on the IR or IL, I guess it is, Josiah Gray, who is out for the year, but was a very important part of the trade they made with the Dodgers. So they have some guys with potential, and they have some guys who are already performing. And then they have some weaknesses, particularly in the bullpen, where nobody is really much of a performer. They have some guys they could trade at the trade deadline, particularly Mike Soroka, who's pitched pretty well this season, gotten almost no support. Maybe Kyle Finnegan, their closer, who might help somebody's bullpen. Josh Bell, who has had a very, very slow start to the season, but has come on and is hitting with some power, and his average is coming up a little bit too. But with this team, it's always the same thing. Is the ownership willing to spend to try to build a championship team? So far, the answer has been no. What they have is ownership, which loves owning the team, but doesn't want to pay for it. And with that, their stars go elsewhere, and they are continually in rebuild mode. And it's frustrating for the fans and even for the sports writers. And you hear about it from them. So we will see. The other team in the area, the Orioles, is also underfinanced. As you probably know, they've let some of their best players go. They use guys like Charlie Morton as sort of fill-ins, guys that you've heard of but are no longer effective. And so the team is, they may be in last too, but certainly a losing record and a lost year for them. And they'll too have to make decisions. They're still headed up by the son of the previous owner who died, but it's not a team that looks like it's going anywhere right at the moment. In weeks to come, I'll try to get to what's going on with the Wizards and what's going on with the Commanders, other than changing their name back to Redskins, which it's going to happen. But I'll give you an assessment on the Commanders as to what I think will happen this year. On the Wizards, I'll get into the muddle that they're currently in, trying to figure out how to move forward. And that's my report for this week.
Anybody want to comment on Mike's report? Fred.
Yeah, Mike, I just was reading after the Nationals had the first pick in the recent MLB draft that they really surprised with their pick. Everybody thought they may take, Holiday, Matt Holiday's son, or ace pitcher out of LSU, but they surprised her picking a 17-year-old. I think his last name was Willett.
Shortstop
his
by the name
father,
of Willett.
Reggie Willett, played in the pros.
Yeah, supposedly excellent bat contact with potential to hit for some power, but he's not a power hitter. But they drafted a bunch of teenagers actually this year. I think of their first 4 or 5 choices, I think 3 or 4 were teenage, just out of high school players. So it'll take many years.
Take time. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mike, and welcome back again. So why don't we go on to bits and pieces?
Got it right.
I'm in pieces, bits and pieces. I'm in pieces, bits and pieces.
I don't know how that came on.
I don't know, but it's so
I don't
good to
know.
have a producer.
I don't know how that came on.
I needed a second person to. Thank you, Milton. All right, bits and pieces. Don't play it again. The trading deadline is next week, I believe, right?
Next Thursday.
Next
Next
Thursday.
Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
is the end of
6
it.
o'clock.
Oh, how are we going to do that with the show? We're going to be on the show, and there'll be trades every minute.
Right.
We'll be
We may have
dominating
a
both of them.
designated person just to report the trades every time something takes place.
Roger.
We're on the
Roger.
show next week.
Roger, I point Roger for that.
All right.
I nominate Roger.
All right. I hope most of you or all of you saw the
still here.
the David Wright retirement number and put into the Mets Hall of Fame last Saturday. I saw it on TV. My son went. He says it was great. TV was great too. He had a great speech. Did you guys see it?
Yes.
I have it on DVR.
Oh, you got to watch it. Really good. Really
Well,
good.
I'll get
And
to
some
it.
of his old players showed up, and it was fun. It was fun, and
His wife's not bad looking either.
that's right. And he got two
Right,
kids,
true.
and
Yeah, I
it
agree.
was really cool. Cool. Very nice. So happy for him, David Wright. Let's see. Pete Alonso. I didn't know he had the consecutive game streak going on. Entering Sunday, 353.
Wow.
And then he took off for a hand injury, but came in for defensive purposes for Mark Vientos at first base there in the game, and he hasn't been out since. So he has a consecutive streak.
Did you hear how he got this hand contusion?
Huh?
How we go?
He got his hand contusion. He didn't play. It wasn't a live pitcher. He got jammed by the pitching machine.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh, God.
Yeah, but pitching machine, boy, and he jammed his hand trying to get out of the way of an inside pitch on from the machine.
Oh,
the machine, the inside machine.
Oh, God.
It didn't bother him yesterday with that shot, that 3-run homer he hit yesterday. That was a shot up to the second deck in Citi Field. They did a statistic on. They mentioned this. If you watched the game yesterday, they had a date, a 1 o'clock game, the getaway game for the Angels, and the Mets are off today. That Nimmo played in his 500th game in Citi Field.
Oh.
And they had the other people who were like next in line. Nimmo's played the most games in Citi Field. Alonso was second. Daniel Murphy was third. Jeff McNeil was fourth, and David Wright was fifth. David Wright also played in at Shea. Then they had a fun. They did something else. They did a fun Mets fun trivia with the number 9. Did you guys see that
I
one?
saw that one. All the people who are number 9.
Yeah,
I saw that.
You don't answer since you saw it. Like, who was the first Met to wear number 9? Anyone know?
Hank Bauer.
Jim Hickman.
Jim Hickman. Did you see this on? Did you see it yesterday?
No, I did not see it.
Jim Hickman is right. Who's the only Met to wear number 9 and be an All-Star?
Oh, God.
Initials.
Leon?
No, initials TH.
TH.
Toby Harrah.
Tom Ted.
Started as a catcher, then Piazza came. They moved him out to left field and started his disaster.
Hundley.
Todd Hundley.
All right.
Star outfielder.
Who has worn number 9 the longest out of any Met?
Don't remember what they said.
It should be obvious. Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they said 8 catchers have worn number 9. No pitcher has ever been number 9. Growing up, no pitcher never had a single digit.
Yeah,
now they're having 0, 4, 7.
Don't
There's no rules anymore. And 2 Met pitchers wore number 9. You knew who they were?
No.
Well, other than you. Anybody? Anybody? No. Joe Torre and Wes Westrom.
Oh, wow.
And then during yesterday's game, they had that kid, Antonio Venetian, 12 years old, who won the Kid Caster contest. They have a contest every year. I don't know who votes. Maybe they vote, and they bring him up to the booth, and he does a half inning. I thought he was terrible, but he won the contest.
Yes.
A 12-year-old.
That part.
Didn't anybody else see it yesterday? The bottom of the fourth? No, you didn't?
I don't think I saw that.
Yes.
All right. The Yankees announced that there will be a game, Old Timers game, the 77th version of the Old Timers game on August 9th. First, they were thinking about, the last couple of years since COVID, it was no game, just interviews with players.
Yeah.
It's boring. And then they thought they would do softball, but they're going back to baseball. It'll be a baseball game for an old timers game.
Mark, Derek Jeter's not going to appear.
Derek Jeter will not
Mark,
doesn't want to.
I've been to about 25 of the Yankee old timers games.
Yeah.
It really used to be exciting. But what happens now is I'd rather be at home because you see all the interviews between innings that you don't see when you're at the ballpark.
So you like the interviews. No, I've been to a few of them, and I like the games. It brings back memories. I've been to Yankee old timers games, not Mets. And the Mets had it, I think, a couple of years ago, and they haven't done it since. This year, the Mets are doing a game. It's like All-Stars, the best of Citi Field against the best of Shea.
Huh.
So the players who play in Shea will play the players the older players. So
Mark,
the Citi Field people should win. They're younger.
Yeah, right.
Mark,
yeah.
Mark, Joe DiMaggio wouldn't come to an old timers game unless he was the last one introduced.
Right.
That was his stipulation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They always save the best players. the ones everyone knew to
he
be.
wouldn't come unless he was the last one introduced.
How about that?
What a guy.
There's going to be a women's professional baseball league that's being formed starting in 2026. And if maybe you remember a couple of years ago, there was this girl who played with the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Renee Davis.
Yeah.
She was 13 years old. I'm trying to figure out how old she is today, but she's trying out for the league as a pitcher and an infielder. The league will commence in 2026 with 6 teams. It'll be the first women's organized baseball team since League of Their Own. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which ended in 1954. 600 girls will be trying out, reduced to 150, and then they'll have their draft in October, which that should be good. Be sure to watch the Hall of Fame inductions this Sunday. I don't know what time they're starting. Usually around like 1:30. Ichiro, Sabathia, and Billy Wagner are being inducted. So that should be cool, right? It's a hot day, and the people they're like fanning themselves.
They'll be on the MLB network.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Good to see Justin Verlander win a game finally.
Right.
He won yesterday. He's 42. He was trying to be the last person to win 300 games.
Not going to get to it.
Not going to get it. He's at 262, 38 away. He's 42 years old. But then again, there's Rich Hill.
Now he's 37 away.
Yeah, well, but there's Rich Hill, who's got back in playing, 45 years old.
Pitched the other day.
Yeah, 21 seasons, 14 teams. He tied Edwin Jackson for the most teams. Pretty cool on that. Philadelphia gets the next All-Star game next year, in case you're wondering. Ryan Sandberg's cancer has come back. He was in remission from prostate. Now it's gone to many organs, unfortunately. Sad note. Let's see what else I have for you people. As I turn my pages, I'm checking the time. I know we want to go to trivia. I can bank some things up here. I'm surprised in basketball and football, mostly in football, the conference, the AAC,
right,
is now going to be called the American Conference because it was too confusing with the ACC. So
right.
The AAC
is the AC
fused with the ACC. So there are 15 football schools.
And the CAA.
Yeah, whatever. And
Tulane, Memphis, Temple.
who had Wayne? You still there, Wayne?
He left.
He left. All right, so I'm not going to talk about Wayne. Let me just see one more thing before we go. Oh, we talked about the All-Star games.
Yeah.
Last night was the soccer, the MLS soccer All-Star game. Lionel Messi did not play. His teammate Jordi Alba, who I never heard before, he's probably a really good guy, but I don't follow soccer. Did not play, and they're going to be fined, suspended one game because the rule.
Yeah, I saw that.
The rule is you have to be cleared with an injury or have a damn well excuse why you're missing that game. The fans pick you; they want you to play, which I think is a good thing. A lot of main guys did not play in the baseball. Any bowling news, Mr. Bowler?
Nope.
One day you'll surprise us and have some bowlers. Anybody have anything else?
Maybe in the fall.
All right. Anybody else have anything else before we go to a few trivia questions? Let's do trivia. Who has a question? All right, Fred.
Okay. Who were the only two shortstops in Major League history to have the following? At least 200 home runs and 200 stolen bases.
Derek Jeter's one.
Derek Jeter.
Right.
Bernie Banks? No.
Nope.
Lindor?
You're very close. Lindor needs one more stolen base to join the group.
Oh, wow.
So he's not quite there yet.
Two shortstops?
I was hoping he would get it Tuesday night. I wanted to see his.
Jimmy Rollins, maybe?
Jimmy Rollins is right.
Jimmy Rollins.
He's a power hitter.
Lindor sometime we'll get there.
Jimmy Rollins Hall of Famer? No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I say no.
I'm trying to convince my son to vote.
Even though we bragged about that.
I'm working on my
team to beat. But
how about this one? Name the three Mets who have hit a home run in an All-Star game.
Alonso's one.
Alonso did it the other day.
Tuesday, yeah.
Two more.
David Wright.
David Wright hit a home run in an All-Star game. Very good.
Mike Piazza?
No.
Strawberry?
No.
Todd Hundley?
Rusty Staub.
No.
Rusty Staub.
No.
Ed Trainpool.
No.
Gary Carter, maybe?
No. I'll give you a hint.
Howard Johnson.
No, I'll give you a hint.
Joe Christopher.
The hint is, I'll just give you his initials for time purposes. LM.
Lee Mazzilli.
Lee Mazzilli hit a home run in an All-Star game as a Met.
I got one more, Mike.
I thought of him.
Mike, my name is Mark.
I mean, Mark. I got one more.
Go ahead, Fred.
One more.
Go ahead, Sam.
Who was the quickest player to get to 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases in a season? What player did it the fastest?
Ricky Henderson?
Nope.
Who's the guy this year? Cal Raleigh?
No.
Right.
25 home runs, 25 stolen bases.
Willie Mays?
Nope. He's a very, very good player, but is not in the Hall of Fame. Very good player.
Fred Lynn.
No.
K-Line.
No.
Okay,
I'll give you his initials.
He played for the
Initials
Mets
are
and the Yankees.
Initials are ED.
All right, Davis.
Eric Davis.
Eric Davis.
69 games in 1987.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think so.
I think wasn't his career shortened by injury?
I don't know. He's a good hitter. Good hitter. I feared him.
Career was cut short by a punch in the face from Ray Knight.
Who has a question?
I got one more.
We go 3 minutes more. Other than anybody else?
I got one more.
All right, Fred. No one else is.
Who are the only two teams the New York Yankees are undefeated against in postseason competition?
The Rangers?
Padres.
No.
Twins.
Padres is
San Diego Padres.
Padres is one.
The Twins?
No, they've lost a game to the Twins. Not in the series. A game. No, they've never lost a game.
Right. What about the Rangers? Texas Rangers?
Say Indians.
No, they lost to the Rangers.
They lost again.
The Indians. They lost to the Marlins.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Well, I'm sure.
This goes way back a little bit.
Hey, way back.
Phillies.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, in 1950 they
beat them 4-0.
They
What
must
is
have
it?
played
What is it?
Chicago Cubs 8-0. They
Oh.
World Series 33 and 40 45.
That's right.
That's right.
Such a long
I
time
don't know.
since they
You
met.
you may be right about the Phillies. Have they played the Phillies in the World Series? Oh yeah, 2009.
2009.
2009, they beat
Yeah.
them.
Nine,
So those
right.
two teams.
As of today, in Major League Baseball, there are 5 juniors. Who are the 5 juniors in baseball?
Guerrero's one.
Guerrero is one.
Gilliam, Junior Gilliam.
Tatis is another one.
They playing Tatis.
Junior Caminero.
Yeah, that's right.
But Junior Caminero, but I mean like Mike Caminero Jr.
How
the
about
end
Ronald
name.
Acuna
They don't have
Be
the nickname
wise, guy,
Junior, they were
Fred.
just called Junior.
Three more.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Right. Oh,
2
yeah.
more.
Wait.
One's a Yankee.
Leiter, Mark Leiter. Oh, he's not a junior. Yeah,
Not
Mark
a junior.
Leiter Jr. Yeah, his father.
No.
His father was
You
Mark
mentioned
Leiter.
somebody mentioned Sandy Alomar.
No, playing today.
Oh, playing today.
Well,
Oh, current.
I don't know about Leiter, but I have. Who's the Yankee?
Mark Leiter.
I don't have Mark Leiter. I
Junior.
have Chisholm.
Yankee.
Oh, right.
Ah, good one.
Okay,
And
that's
you
Junior.
forgot about Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh yeah, Bobby Witt. Yeah.
Anybody else? A couple more minutes. Got 2 minutes.
How about
How about this one? Name the 5 teams from any sport, the big sports, the 4 sports, come back from being down 3-0.
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
It's the
Red
Yankees.
Sox is 1.
Right.
Islanders.
Islanders is 2. There's 3 more.
Celtics?
No.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs is 3.
Red.
A while ago.
Wait,
2 more. One plays in the West and one plays in the East. And they're both hockey.
Flyers.
Flyers
Las-
is in the East. Is when. How about
Las
the West?
Vegas. Las Vegas.
Edmonton?
It's another. You see that?
How about the Kings?
Kings. LA
Penguins,
Kings.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
The LA Kings.
Hockey, it's been done a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What company sign can be seen beyond the Fenway Park Green Monster?
Citgo.
Citgo. Very good.
Right.
Very good. Very good. And then a final question, since nobody else has one.
I got a couple.
I'll do it real quick. Name the only NBA player to score 60 or more points in an NBA Finals game.
LeBron?
Only been done once. 60 or more points in an NBA Finals game.
Jerry West?
A tough one.
Not West.
Elgin
Baylor?
Close with West. Elgin Baylor. 1962. He scored 61 points against the Celtics. How about that? You have the final question. Who had one more question before? All right, Steve, this is it. You're the last question.
One NBA player has played in the most regular season games. Korea.
The most what?
Korea games. Regular season.
Chris Paul?
No.
NBA, you said?
Stockton or Malone?
Vince Carter.
No.
Stockton or Malone?
LeBron James?
No.
Oh, AC Green.
No, he has consecutive. He has
Right.
the most
Consecutive games.
So overall, the most games played ever.
Oh,
The
ever.
bar?
Yeah. Nope.
Not Vince Carter, right?
No, not Carter. And
Not those guys, even though 21 seasons.
Yeah.
Kareem, not Jabbar, no.
He was the center.
Moses Malone.
Not Will Chamberlain.
Not
No,
Nate.
I said-
Not Nate Thurmond.
Michael Jordan? No.
No.
Jabbar?
Double zero.
Oh, Robert Parrish.
Robert
Parrish.
Parrish.
Double zero, yeah.
All right.
All
right, guys.
Mark, I have a funny story about Robert Parrish.
You got to go quick because they're going to cut us off.
He was picked for the Olympic team in 1976, and he got cut because he didn't run to the water fountain by Dean Smith. So as a result, my player, Mitch Kupchak, became the starting center over Parrish.
You got to get Mitch Kupchak on this show. If I can get a poker player on, Mitch Kupchak would be more. All right.
I'll ask him next time.
All right. So thanks, guys. Good. I thought you enjoyed the show with Adam. And, we did what we had to do. Got rid business. Did our business. And Michael, you can fix the internet. And Milton, what's our closing song?
Yeah, this song was written by a 12-year-old kid, the son of the owner of an Epi record company, 1965.
Why did I know the name of the song?
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees.
12-year-old kid wrote this.
Get up after me.
Anything called love. Let me tell you about the stars in the sky and a girl and a guy and the way they the keys on a night like this.
Who sang this song? Anyone know?
No.
Who
Not
did
the
it?
song, but not the artist.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't remember ever hearing the artist.
I mean, you'll tell me, I'll not remember.
Jewel Akins.
Jewel Akins.
1965. It was a big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Written
song,
by
I
a
know the
kid.
song, couldn't remember
The
who
son
did
of
it.
the owner of the Epi record company.
All right.
Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week, guys. Thanks for coming aboard. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Be good.
Thanks, Mark. Take care.
care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.